Who are you and what do you do?
My name is Markus. I'm one of the two systems designers on the Stellaris team, occasionally Custodian, occasionally Crisis Team, wherever I'm needed.
What has been your favorite thing to work on as part of the Custodian team?
Favorite thing as a Custodian was probably working on the combat rework together with Elodrin. That was very fun, very exciting, also very troublesome.
What is your favorite type of Empire to play in Stellaris?
That is probably someone going like overtuned. I have a soft spot for that one because it's my baby. People can quite decide if it's broken or underpowered or overpowered, and I can just say perfectly designed.
What has been your favorite Buffing the Backlog edition?
Now I can't remember the name. For humanoids, Pompous Purists, which is basically the do not talk to me, my lawyers will talk to you. The Civic. It was great fun implementing that. And then people saying, it's so nice, the game is suddenly so quiet. I was like, I'm both happy and unhappy with that.
What is the funniest bug that you've had to fix while working as a Custodian?
Very good question. I don't fix that many bugs. The funniest one was probably a habitat bug, where you could place a habitat on top of a habitat, on top of a habitat, and it would just stack into the limits of the solar system view until you couldn't build one because you couldn't see where you could place it anymore.
If you could work on one thing, regardless of the available resources, and have it end up in the game, what would it be?
For the 3 people on the forums who talked about it, trash. I would like a trash mechanic. I think it could be a lot of fun, being able to throw it at other people's planets, selling it on the market, dealing with it. Not that pollution exactly, but just trash itself. Trash planets are a bit of a sci-fi fantasy we don't really support right now. So, really hoping for that one, but everyone keeps saying no.
What is the most overpowered thing in Stellaris, in your opinion?
The most overpowered thing in Stellaris is most definitely technology. It's supposed to be, because a sci-fi game where technology doesn't push the boundaries it's basically fantasy, just with a different color. So it's overpowered, but it's supposed to. But we'll see about reining it in a little bit, maybe.
What is the most underpowered thing in Stellaris, in your opinion?
Sadly, Unity, just because its only competition is technology. So by comparison, it falls a bit flat. But we've expanded it a lot with the Unity rework, with the additions through the game, changing costs for Unity. So it's on the recovery. Give it time.
When designing or building a new feature for the game, does fun or balance come first for you?
So the first thing when designing a feature is most definitely fun. So it needs someone who really feels that this is a good thing for the game. Sense of someone needs to enjoy this. Someone needs to be passionate about this. Usually when we bring up a feature, a few people at least go, oh, that's really cool. Right? Or we haven't had that before. The numbers we can fix later during development. People giving feedback during open betas or even after release. Say, okay, we'll adjust it a bit. It hasn't stood the test of time as well as it could. Or a future update changed it somewhat significantly. But first is the fun, and then we make the numbers fit the fun.
What type of DLC is the most fun to make?
The most fun DLC is most definitely the big expansions. That's where you get to change the most. That's where you have the most resources to work on things. That's where the programmers and the artists and the sound department are at your back-end call, basically. Don't tell them I said that, please.
What was your favorite joke or meme that ended up disrupting the entire office?
It leads actually back to a bug that Elodrin found, which brought the entire office to a halt for like half an hour. It's basically you are from some other civilization and something broke in the limitations, and Elodrin found it as like you are humans and you're break-off part of a machine empire living on a gas giant with fertility preacher on its leader, and they're not Gestalt. The more you look, the more wrong it became, and more and more people crowded to his desk looking at this monstrosity the game had created by ignoring all the rules, basically.
How is the scope of a new DLC decided?
I mean, first there's the decision what type of DLC is it going to be. Is it like a story pack or is it an expansion? That's the first limit on the scope. Then it's usually also how much art do we have, how much sound do we have, how many people do we have, right? Is a bunch of people sick, or is someone leaving? Do we still have a UX designer or not? Do we have a systems designer, a content designer? Usually we try to go design big at the beginning and then cut as you see we can't do it in time. It's easier to have a grand vision that you cut down to something playable than to have half a vision and have to then come up with the other half 1 month before release. That's a recipe for disaster.
Do you ever think we'll see a new Crisis coming to Stellaris?
A new crisis, that's a tall order. That is a lot of work. People who would know that would be on the crisis team. Wait, I am currently on the crisis team. I'm not telling.